And a live look at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery.
This morning, President Joe Biden and the First Lady will participate in a wreath-laying ceremony at the site. It was raining earlier, but appears to have started to dry out.
And back here in San Antonio, Memorial Day ceremony also taking place at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery today. The
event includes a wreath laying, presentation, speeches, a moment of silence, the playing of taps, and much more. Our Max Massey will have a live report, and that is coming up.
And good morning. Thank you for joining us.
It is Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th.
And it is a beautiful start to the day.
Yeah,
the roads are clear as well.
Yes, very quiet here in the downtown area. School is out. A lot of folks off work today. Some hazy sunshine there, Mike Osterhage.
Yes, indeed. And got a couple of showers that have been showing up on radar. We're going to tell you more about that in a moment. Temperature right now stands at 73 degrees. We did bottom out in the upper 60s in the hourly reading. So normal low is 70, just a little bit below that. That bottom number, dew point 67. So it's okay. 81% humidity. I mean, you expect some humidity out there this time of year. 84 for high temperature. That's it. About like where we were yesterday, well below normal. The aquifer in the past 24 hours did take a pretty good hit, down 0.6 of a foot. And the allergens, the only thing showing up right now, mold is on the moderate side. All right, do have a few showers that are showing up on radar. You can see a couple of those off to the east, and then also in parts of the hill country. That was a little storm complex earlier. It sort of fizzled on out, but there's a leftover little bit of a low that is kind of moving through the area. Upper 60s. Low to mid 70s around the area right now. So we will have a few spotty hit or miss showers, thunderstorms around here. About a 40% chance for some rain. You got outdoor plans? Don't change them. Just have a plan B, just to be on the safe side of things. And below average temperatures, like I said, mid 80s. What's the rest of the week have in store? Those details coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Mike. Outside, a look at your traffic authority. Right now, I-35 at New Braunfels Avenue, clear, no accidents to report this morning.
Well, it is Memorial Day 2023.
And we are seeing several ceremonies today. We are seeing wreath-laying presentation coming up.
That's right. I believe I was going to ask our producer real quick here. Do you want us to go to Max here, or would you like us to do this Amber Alert? Okay, Max is standing by live at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. Max, good morning.
Good morning, guys. So the ceremony really just getting underway right now. You can hear the band in the background. Things just getting started in the last few moments, and I gotta say, it has been quite an emotional morning so far. We've talked to and seen multiple families going grave to grave, paying their respects, honoring their loved ones who really gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Now, the flag laying brought out hundreds more families yesterday. I talked to the commander earlier. He told us that they expect about 250 families to fill these benches throughout the day for the ceremony. We also talked about why today is so important, taking a moment of pause to remember and honor our military men and women who gave that ultimate sacrifice. Now, the commander, a 22-year veteran, gave us the itinerary today. We talked about this opening ceremony, the posting of the colors, the reading of the deceased veterans' names, the speakers, and the service flag presentation. So much more that we expect throughout the day. And guys, I can't describe enough just some of the scenes that we've seen of the families, the loved ones paying their respects, honoring those who did serve our country. And before I go send it back to you guys, I want to show off the coin that the commander gave to us. On the front, an honor coin, and in the back, all of the branches of our military. So guys, we're going to stay here through the morning, stay here during the ceremony. We expect a lot of emotion, very powerful speeches to be said. And if you miss any of it, we're going to have more coming up on KSAT.com, and of course, the news at noon. Back to you guys.
A very special event in our community. Thank you, Max. Now, new developments this morning in the case of an active Amber Alert. A 29-year-old man wanted in connection to the disappearance of two little girls has been arrested. However, SAPD is still looking for the children. Julio Najar Trevino was arrested Saturday and charged with interference with child custody. An arrest affidavit says he was informed by Child Protective Services that a court order had been issued and the agency was removing the children from the home. Police say he left with the kids, prompting the Amber Alert. Despite being in custody, court documents say he is refusing to tell law enforcement where the children and their mother are. DPS says 26-year-old Khadijah Fox is also wanted in connection with their abduction. Nahar Trevino's bond is set at $10,000. Anyone with information is asked to contact the San Antonio Police Department.
We've learned one person is dead following a wrong-way crash overnight in West Bexar County. Happened this morning around 1 a.m. on Highway 90, just outside 1604. Investigators tell us the driver of a small car collided head-on with a pickup driving the wrong way. Several others were taken to a hospital.
Meanwhile, fire investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a blaze on the west side of town. It happened just after 10 last night on Bernice Drive, not far from Culebra. We're told 3 people inside the home were able to get out safely, but there was also damage to the home.
Over to Washington now, and that 11th hour debt limit deal.
President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are now urging Congress to push through their agreement to raise a debt ceiling. The president says the compromise takes catastrophic default off the table. But as ABC's Justin Finch explains, lawmakers from both parties are accusing their sides of making too many concessions.
This morning, with the Treasury Secretary warning the nation could be 7 days away from defaulting on its debts. A new lap in the race to raise the debt ceiling is underway.
The Speaker and I made it clear from the start that the only way forward was a bipartisan agreement.
President Joe Biden urging Congress to pass the debt limit deal he brokered with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Both leaders forced to make concessions.
It doesn't get everything everybody wanted, but that's in divided government. That's where we end up.
The compromise would increase the country's $31 trillion debt ceiling through the 2024 presidential election and lock in new spending restraints. Sources tell ABC News the budget deal keeps most federal spending roughly flat next year, raising it by 1% in 2025. Defense spending would increase. The agreement includes new work requirements with time limits on how long some Americans up to age 54 can receive food assistance. Sources say the bill would also preserve Social Security, Medicaid, and veterans benefits. Congress members are reacting to the 99-page legislation released Sunday. Staunch conservatives like Virginia Republican Bob Good believe McCarthy gave up too much, writing, "No one claiming to be a conservative could justify a yes vote." Congressional Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal on CNN.
And I think it is really unfortunate that the president opened the door to this.
Meantime, many Americans who rely on federal assistance, like this West Virginia single mom, worry Capitol Hill delays will cost her family.
There are other bills that either are going to go unpaid or we're not going to eat.
Congress members are due back to Capitol Hill beginning tomorrow from their holiday recess, with the House on track for a debt ceiling vote Wednesday and the Senate already bracing for potential votes Friday and into the weekend. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, the historic impeachment of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is plunging Republicans into a fight over whether to banish one of their own. Paxton was impeached this weekend by the state's GOP-controlled House of Representatives after years of scandal and accused crimes. Paxton says he has full confidence as he now awaits trial in the state Senate. His conservative allies in the Senate include his wife, State Senator Angela Paxton, who has not said whether she will recuse herself from the proceedings.
Texas lawmakers also sent a sweeping school safety measure to Governor Greg Abbott yesterday, including a response to last year's Uvalde massacre.
It requires schools to post an armed security officer at every campus and provide mental health training for certain district employees. The measure also gives the state more power to compel school districts to create active shooter plans. Both chambers gave their final approval to House Bill 3 after ironing out the differences over the past week. The armed person can either be a peace officer, a school resource officer, a school marshal, or a school district employee. We have all that information on KSAT.com.
Your morning headlines: a suspected drunk driver ends up in the drink, and Catholics are descending on a small town in Missouri to see a nun who is dead.
Parents of graduates host a ceremony since the school postponed theirs. And the right place, right time. David Sears joins us this morning. Good morning, David.
Nice to get paid when you're running out of gas. How's that sound?
It's quite the payoff, isn't it?
We'll get to that in just a second. But first, we're going to start with this. That is a car in the water, and that is a police officer talking to the driver of the car right there. And, ooh, she's in some trouble. The woman admitted she was driving on the beach. Police say she just missed hitting a child. Several things wrong with this. First, she had a blood alcohol level of 0.153, almost hit the child, and was driving on a part of the beach that doesn't allow vehicles. Not to mention her vehicle is sitting in a couple of feet of water. Oddly enough, she didn't even argue with the officer and just went to jail.
We were just trying to turn around. We didn't think that we could do a U-turn around here, so we were just trying to keep going. And why am I going to jail?
Right now, I think you're driving under the influence.
Okay.
All right.
The suspect is out of jail on bond. She faces DUI charges as well as reckless driving, among other things. At a time when football stadiums and arenas are full of graduates, Marlin High School didn't have to worry about any guests filling up their gym or graduates getting the stage dirty, at least not yet, because the high school had to postpone graduation. Only 5 seniors out of a class of 33 were eligible to graduate. Marlin, just northeast of Temple, the 28 who were not ready either didn't successfully complete a course or missed too many days of school. So family and friends packed the Marlin Missionary Baptist Church to celebrate the 5 who were eligible to graduate. One of the reasons the ceremony took place, a lot of family from out of town had made plans to be in town for the graduation.
And so sometimes life will throw you in situations that just, it's not fair. But what are you going to do about it?
The official ceremony has been rescheduled for June to give some of the students a chance to get things right. Hey, what do they say? Timing is everything. So Michael Schlimmer is running on fumes, and he coasts into a gas station in Kentucky. He had $40 on him, so he bought $20 worth of gas and a $20 lottery ticket. And you guessed it, he won. You can see right there, $862,000. He took the lump sum payment, paid the tax, got a check for a little over $600,000. He said he is going to buy a new car and he's going to save the rest. So he won $1 million and goes home with $600,000. Get a new car and save. Maybe I ought to save for some gas money. So
well, I want to know, what will it take to put a smile on this man's face?
I don't know.
He's got a big old check.
Yeah, he's got a grin. I'm not sure it's a
slight
I like
smirk.
the date on that check. It says "My lucky day."
My
go.
lucky day.
He won $1 million and got $600,000 out of it. That's not bad.
He's thinking about what he had to pay Uncle Sam, right?
Yeah. Well, and the store got $8,000, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Usually they get a little bonus too.
Share the wealth.
Thank you, David. Right now, 9:10, 73 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
2 Marines are riding across the country to honor the sacrifice of American heroes. Why they're stopping in Military City, USA, and how you can help them with their mission. 2 motorcycle riders are spending the entire month taking the time to remember and care for the families of fallen heroes. Both Marines come from multi-generational military families. They stopped in San Antonio this past weekend. Now they're going across America, hoping more people will join them in honoring veterans and first responder families. Averaging 400 miles a day, Dan Halpern and Bob Galt are riding their bikes to the 4 corners of the U.S., urging people to donate and help the nonprofit Tunnel to Tower, which builds custom homes for severely injured veterans and first responders.
We'd ask them to consider, their own families and situations, and look at all the support they've gotten from their community officers, their firefighters, the ambulance folks.
I mean, they put their lives on the line every day for us, right? Whether it's the veterans or first responders, and anything we can do to assist that community, it's worthwhile cause.
The riders are in El Paso today. We have a link to follow the ride and donate to their campaign right now on KSAT.com.
Well, City Hall and most municipal offices are closed today for Memorial Day. Public safety emergency services are in operation. We have a complete list of what's open and closed on our website. Just head to KSAT.com and look for this story right there on our homepage.
With all those closures, we're seeing not only clear skies, but clear roads. Right?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's on the roads today at all. And just be on the lookout for a couple of showers later on. No, Max is out there at Fort Sam National Cemetery and showed this picture earlier today. And just want to show that one again. Taken by Woody's Picks Memorial Day sunset at Fort Sam. And again, all the folks were out there usually on Friday. And it's when my boys were in Scouts and we used to go out there and put all the flags in front of all the headstones. So great picture. Thank you very much. All right, here's what it looks like outside. Still got plenty of clouds hanging around here. The sun is trying to peek on through, and we'll have limited sunshine today. Now, we've been watching a few showers this morning, a couple of these off to the east, right there around LaGrange. And notice how this batch of rain out by, well, maybe a sprinkle around Rock Springs. This actually had some lightning strikes showing up earlier this morning, and it was a little bit more impressive, but it's sort of just kind of fizzling on out. But notice if you look real close, it almost looks like there's a little circulation right there. There is a low which is sliding across our area, and that's going to be, it's not real strong, it's not real organized, but it's going to be enough to just get us going as far as a couple of showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. So 20% chance for a few little showers around here this morning, those couple off to the east and up in parts of the hill country. We'll make it up to 79 at noon. We are going to top off today at 84. Way below normal like yesterday. Yesterday was a really nice day. Humidity was okay. Temperatures only in the mid 80s yesterday. Today we have that 40% chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms around here, and then we'll drop back into the mid 60s or mid 70s, beg your pardon, by mid evening around here, and a leftover shower or two. So here's a computer model, and computer models aren't really that bullish about getting rain going here. So this one is showing a couple of showers popping up later on this afternoon, a few more around here, and just again, one or two of them, only about a 30-40% chance for some rain. Now, other computer models, I'll show you this in the next half hour, do have a system trying to develop out here in the hill country and then work its way down in towards San Antonio by the late evening hours and maybe in the wee hours of tomorrow morning. But again, this particular model is not that bullish on the rain. We will, though, still have some of those showers and thunderstorms around here. Also, temperatures, which today, again, we are way below normal at 84 degrees. But then look at that. If you like consistent, and this has been the situation really for the past few weeks where we've had these really consistent temperatures all the way across the board. That's the situation this week as well. Low temperatures are also going to remain extremely consistent around here. So can't complain about that. All right, forecast over the next 7 days. Today, 84. We have that chance for a few showers and thunderstorms around here. Then we will start to warm up, and humidity is going to be present. So, you know, it's late May. Of course, we do have some humidity around here, but as it's looking right now, nothing off the charts. And just to look across the board, a very consistent week. Kind of a chance to, I know we haven't had a whole lot of rain recently as we've had in recent weeks, but sort of a chance to dry out. And we will start to June on a dry note on Thursday at 89 degrees. And maybe, you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of low 90s in your backyard Thursday, Friday, and the next chance for rain moves in here Saturday and Sunday. And again, it keeps temperatures just slightly below normal readings. Low temperatures will remain in the low 70s, and again, enough humidity out there. So again, if you have outdoor plans today, don't change them at all. Just have a plan B, but most of us will not see any rain today.
So nice to almost be in June, and everything is such a deep, rich green, the yards and the pastures and even the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of green on the grass and not a whole lot of red on the thermometer.
That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Mike, thank you. 919, 73 degrees.
Up next before 9:30, a lot of people are off today for Memorial Day, and this holiday tends to bring a lot of deals in stores and online. How you can save the most money next.
Well, a lot of people are off today for Memorial Day, and this holiday tends to bring a lot of deals in stores and online. Joining us this morning is Samantha Gordon with Consumer Reports. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us. Well, you know, first of all, what can consumers expect if they're looking for deals, and what product categories tend to have the deepest discounts?
Memorial Day weekend is a great time to get a deal on pretty much anything. We see a lot of different sales across a lot of different retailers, but the big ticket items that you're going to see for Memorial Day are large appliances, mattresses, and grills.
That's a lot of options, but we're wondering, how does Memorial Day compare to other big sale events throughout the year? So do all the big retailers usually participate, or is it more limited?
We definitely see a lot of the major retailers participating in Memorial Day sales, whether they have big blockbuster deals or they're just discounting their items across the board. It's not quite as big as Black Friday or Amazon Prime Day, but it is one of those bigger holiday weekends to do some shopping and find some good savings.
And then I know earlier you mentioned some deals. What are your favorite Memorial Day deals this year?
So Memorial Day is a great time for mattresses especially, and Casper has a bunch of mattress sales right now. They're one of the few retailers that doesn't have a lot of sales outside of major holidays, so it's a great time if you've been considering a Casper mattress. The original hybrid mattress is a good one right now. It's about $1,200 down from about $1,500, so you're saving $300.
So let's say people hear about this. Do you have any tips for securing the best deals with so many retailers participating? What can shoppers do to make sure they're getting the best deal available?
Well, you can find deals in stores and online, but the best thing to do is comparison shop. So make sure you're checking the prices at the different retailers. Over at consumerreports.org, we have all the different prices from all the retailers listed out with every product on sale. And you can head over to cr.org/deals, and you can see all of the deals on all of the best products that we've tested.
All right. Thank you, Samantha Gordon with Consumer Reports, for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Time now, 9:25, 74 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Still to come at 9:30, new details on the massive expansion project at Arlington National Cemetery, but it's not enough room for retirees and veterans who could be buried there. The new message from the VA coming up.
And checking TransGuide earlier, we only had one stalled vehicle in the entire metro area. Very light traffic out there. You're looking live at 35 in New Braunfels Avenue, and you're watching GMSA at 9 on this Memorial Day. This Memorial Day 2023, taking a live look now at Arlington, Virginia, the tomb of the unknown soldier there at the cemetery. The tomb of the unknown soldier serves as a symbolic grave for all war dead whose remains have not been found or identified. The remains of 3 soldiers are interred there, one from World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. This morning, President Biden and the First Lady will participate in a wreath-laying ceremony there at the tomb of the unknowns.
And a live look right now at a Memorial Day wreath-laying ceremony taking place at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. There will be speeches, songs, and moment of silence and more. Hundreds of people are expected to attend to honor the men and women who lost their lives defending the nation.
Let's go outside with live cam on this Memorial Day. A lot of folks had the long holiday weekend. Looks like some clouds are trying to work their way in. And Mike has been talking all morning long about a chance at a shower storm later.
Yeah, a couple of them out there. You know, seeing that ceremony out there at Fort Sam, and then I was just thinking, watching the Indy 500 yesterday, and they always have the 21-gun salute and taps. Just
get you every time?
Always get you. All right, yes, we do have some clouds out there as of right now, and we have temperatures that are actually not that bad. We are at 73 degrees right now. That dew point's at 67, which, yeah, there is some humidity out there, and we do have a couple of sprinkly showers. You can see those off to the east right there around LaGrange. Some out in the hill country, which are sort of fizzling out, but that's going to help to refire things. There's still some energy out there, especially in the hill country, and so we do have that chance of rain later on today. Mold is on the moderate side. It did go up just a little bit from yesterday's reading. Mostly cloudy skies, couple of stray showers hanging around here throughout the morning hours, 1 or 2, and then a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. Mid-80s, that's it today. And then we are going to be warming up back almost up to normal throughout the rest of the week. Partly cloudy skies, and then by the weekend, a couple of more showers and a thunderstorm. Small chance for some rain, upper 80s. Nothing extreme. I want to knock on wood with that. Nothing extreme as far as temperatures are concerned. We are going to look ahead, way ahead down the road. What's in store maybe beyond this week, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Mike. And all eyes on the roads right now. So far, so good. We've been looking at this scene similar throughout the whole morning.
Did we even have an accident during the early show today?
I don't believe so.
I don't think we did either. Right now, you're looking at very light traffic around town. Good news, as of 9:31, there are no accidents, major or minor, around town. We do have a disabled vehicle reported right now on eastbound 410 at Morrison Road, only one lane blocked. And a disabled vehicle also reported at I-10 West at Highway 46, one lane only block there as well. Smooth going otherwise. Hundreds of people gathering this morning at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery right here in San Antonio to honor men and women who lost their lives defending our nation. A special Memorial Day service started earlier at 9, and that's where we find Max Massey. Max, have you talked to any of the families out there?
Good morning, guys. Yes, we've been talking to families throughout the morning. Right now, we're listening to the invocation. We're going to take a moment and just listen in.
In your holy name, I make my prayer. Amen.
Now, this has been going on through the morning. As you guys said, it started at 9 a.m. There was the opening ceremony, just kicked off a few moments ago. There was the posting of the colors, the Star-Spangled Banner, and you just heard the invocation. Next up, per the itinerary, should be the reading of deceased veterans, then the opening remarks. And guys, I got to say, I've been talking to families throughout the morning. It is such an emotional, such a powerful day here. Talking to families, walking in and out of graves, just here, taking a moment, remembering why today is a holiday, really honoring those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. So I'm going to send it back to you guys, and of course, we're going to be streaming this ceremony throughout the morning right now on KSAT.com. We're going to have a lot, much more coming up, sights and sounds on the news at noon. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Max, for that live report.
Well, new details this morning on a partial apartment building collapse up in Davenport, Iowa. Residents say when it happened, it felt like an earthquake.
So far, no one has died. However, one person was found, bringing the total number of people rescued to 8.
As ABC's Derek Dennis reports, there are concerns that more of that building could come down.
Frickin' building just collapsed.
This morning, a shocking scene in Davenport, Iowa. The middle of an apartment building collapsing floor by floor just before 5 p.m. Sunday with residents inside.
This floor has caved in and there's a subject trapped in apartment 510.
Multi-agencies responded with the sole purpose of finding people and getting them out of the building.
At least 6 stories of the 80-unit building caved in, with some apartments completely destroyed.
Fire crews were able to rescue 7 individuals on their initial response and escort more than a dozen individuals out as they were self-evacuating from the building.
Authorities say crews found a natural gas leak and water leaking from the floors as emergency crews arrived.
There was a lot of screams, a lot of cries, a lot of people saying help.
The entire thing shook. I dropped everything I was doing.
When I checked out of my door and down the hall, I saw some apartments had water coming out from under their doors. There was a lot of dust and debris.
Neighbors had reported ongoing water damage problems, bricks falling from the facade, and a long list of needed repairs.
Currently, the building owner did have permits to make exterior wall repairs that was under direction of his hired engineer.
The collapse reminiscent of a 4-story garage that pancaked in New York City in April. 1 person killed. Maintenance issues blamed for that collapse. The lingering concern in Iowa, the stability of the remaining structure and the search for any trapped, injured, or dead in the collapse.
I'm hoping they bring my dog out and that she'll come back out to me. She's my world.
It's currently unclear what caused the collapse. The city says heavier equipment and more advanced rescue crews are being called in to go through the building. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
This morning, a reminder that City Hall and most municipal offices will be closed for Memorial Day today.
Also this morning, we are learning more about a massive expansion project at Arlington National Cemetery, which we showed you earlier in the newscast. They're expected to add acreage for 80,000 burial sites by the end of 2027.
But that's not nearly big enough to accommodate the more than 23 million active duty service members, retirees, and veterans who could be eligible for Arlington burial.
CNN's Karen Kafa sharing the new message from the Veterans Administration.
It is a rainy morning here at the Marine Corps War Memorial and outside Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, and the nation will honor those today who made the ultimate sacrifice. It's also a day for veterans to reflect upon their service, and the Department of Veterans Affairs wants those veterans to know they will be taken care of through their final salute.
Amid the quiet and the solemnity,
Arlington National Cemetery is expanding, adding 70 acres to the south of these hallowed grounds, an estimated 80,000 burial sites by late 2027.
The current physical expansion that we're doing right now was the last available land contiguous, in other words, connecting to Arlington National Cemetery. And even to do that expansion, we've had to reconstruct existing roads.
About 30 miles to the south of Arlington is Quantico National Cemetery. It's one of 155 national cemeteries across the nation, maintained by the Department of Veterans Affairs National Cemetery Administration. The network also includes 121 state-run cemeteries funded by the VA, and they say about 94% of U.S. veterans have one of these burial sites within 75 miles of home. Still, utilization of VA burial benefits, which include no-cost interment as well as similar benefits for spouses and dependents, is low compared to other VA benefits like health care and education. Last year, just 22%.
That's a number we want to see increase. We want to make sure veterans know that this is an option across America.
So they're working to improve rural access to burial sites and in dense urban areas build above-ground columbariums with a smaller footprint, like this one at Los Angeles National Cemetery. Another will soon open in Queens, New York. All of it a way to say thank you one final time.
The way we look at it is this is the nation's last chance to thank that veteran for their service.
And there will be Memorial Day commemorations at many of those VA cemeteries across the country today. Here at Arlington National Cemetery, President Biden and the First Lady will be among those in attendance for the ceremonies here. In Arlington, Virginia, I'm Karen Kafa.
Time now 9:38, 74 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Up next, a Marines promotion ceremony at the Alamo has ties to Texas history. We'll explain how in just moments.
On this Memorial Day, a chance to honor those who gave everything for our country.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert takes a look at some of the weekend services from all around the United States.
Across the country, Americans young and old paying their respects this Memorial Day.
Some of them gave the ultimate sacrifice for us, and we must remember them and we must show them honor.
Overnight in our nation's capital,
and I would do it for you.
A powerhouse group of performers taking the stage to pay tribute to war heroes and their families.
The brother who's not there, we salute you.
At Arlington National Cemetery, more than 1,000 service members from the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, known as the Old Guard, honoring our nation's fallen heroes, placing American flags in front of more than 270,000 headstones, the tradition in its 75th year. In Boston, hundreds of volunteers arranging more than 37,000 flags at the Soldiers and Sailors Monument.
For the men and women who gave our nation the last full measure of service in all wars.
Memorial Day especially poignant for Gold Star families who are keeping the names and memories of their fallen loved ones alive.
My son is Specialist Zachary Charles Moore. He died in 2017. He was 23 years old. He was everybody's best friend. He was so loved. He was so fun. We need to remember those who were lost.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
As we continue honoring heroes, promotion ceremony for a U.S. Marine to Major has major roots. Rather, he's not a major, has major roots here in our local history.
This past weekend, a 5th-generation descendant of Sam Houston was promoted to sergeant by a 5th-generation descendant of Davy Crockett. This took place outside the Alamo. Their names are Major J. Crockett and now Sergeant Chase Houston. It is tradition for Marines to choose the site where they'll be promoted. And for Sergeant Houston, it was an obvious choice to honor his family lineage. Now, the sergeant's mentor reached out to ask who the commanding officer for recruiting was for San Antonio. And much to everyone's surprise, learned it was Major Crockett.
It's a big deal to me, absolutely an honor and a privilege to be able to do this today.
I was in awe that this whole, everything was taking place.
Originally from Tyler, Texas, Sergeant Houston said he frequently visited San Antonio, and he says he's grateful for being part of this event.
Well, imagine walking up on this outside the Alamo and looking at the name tape on their uniforms realizing what's happening there and the connection to our history.
I mean, what are the odds? Both in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Like that. And
pretty
both
amazing
5th generation.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Sergeant Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. All right. If you have been emphasizing, if you have outdoor plans, don't change them today. And a lot of computer models really aren't overly bullish as far as trying to get rain to pop up later on today. Kind of erring on the side of caution. There will be a few of them showers out there, but not really a whole heck of a lot. Beautiful sunrise this morning. A lot of clouds out there in Seguin, but just enough to let the sun shine through right as it was popping over the horizon. Teresa, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And looking out there right now, yeah, plenty of clouds. Looks a lot like it did yesterday, which of course the cloud cover helped keep temperatures down yesterday. And it was actually kind of pleasant considering it's the end of May. All right, let's jump way ahead in the future. And this is encouraging. And I love showing this. Been showing it for, what, the past couple of months or so. The Climate Prediction Center long-range computer models. This goes beyond our 7-day forecast, the 6 to 10-day outlook. And this is still, it's kind of the odds of being above or below normal temperatures and as well as precipitation. So the odds are favoring slightly above normal or better than 50-50 chances of seeing some precipitation around here. And in that same time period, still leaning toward being at or slightly below normal, or the odds of being below normal 6 to 10 day, and then jump further ahead of that, still better than 50-50 odds of seeing some precipitation or more than what would be a normal amount of precipitation. And as far as temperatures, leaning more toward, say, right about normal, which now we're getting up into the low 90s. It's 90 is the normal high temperature this time of year. But yesterday, of course, we were well below that. And look at that, only one 90-degree reading. Now, it may have been, 90s in your backyard there. But, yeah, only one reading of 90 degrees up in College Station. Everybody else in the 57. Rock Springs stayed at 77 degrees yesterday. And today, same situation. No 90s on this map. And this is late May, so this is absolutely wonderful, going for 84 for a high temperature and a lot of low 80s all around the area. All right, so we've got this low, and you can kind of see right there that circulation coming in here around the Big Bend area off the mountains of Mexico. That's what was touching off some of those showers and a few thunderstorms around the area up to the northwest earlier this morning. And so now computer models are still wanting to bring that on in here, but a lot of computer models, like I said, are not really bullish on getting the rain to form. There will be some showers and thunderstorms popping up around the area, a few more with the heat of the afternoon, right around say almost dinner time. And if you do get one of these showers or storms, you could have some a fairly decent downpour. Doesn't look like it's going to last all that long, but just be on the lookout for that. Like I was saying earlier, though, don't change your outdoor plans, but if one of those showers pops up, you're going to have to run inside real quickly, and that's going to be the situation going into this evening as well. Then things should start to die down after that. So the forecast today, we're going to make it up to 84, again, way below normal. Few showers and thunderstorms. Odds are in your favor that you won't see rain, and then over the next few days, temperatures will warm up, but only getting up to what is a normal, almost a normal high temperature, and we'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Then another chance of rain moves in here by Saturday and Sunday. So enjoy the day.
I like that. Enjoy the day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mike. Time now 9:48, 75 degrees.
Up next, movie star Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the spotlight for his first TV show ever. We'll get a preview. We'll be back.
Did not speak Russian.
Yeah, machina.
Comedian Bert Kreischer's The Machine partied its way to a fifth-place debut on ticket sales of $4.9 million. The Super Mario Bros. Movie dropped to fourth with $6.3 million, while Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 landed in third with $20 million, warping its domestic box office to over $300 million. Fast X downshifted into second, making off with just over $23 million, driving its domestic haul to $114 million after 2 weekends in theaters, and pushing its worldwide total past the $500 million milestone.
I want to be where the people are.
The live-action meets CGI remake of The Little Mermaid splashed its way to #1 in its debut weekend. The musical, featuring familiar as well as new songs, swam away with an estimated $96 million in the first part of the long holiday weekend. Expect Ariel to add more treasure to her collection after Memorial Day. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has starred in some of the biggest action movies ever, but he's never done a TV show until now.
CNN's Rick Damigella tells us what fans can expect from the new series on Netflix.
You came alone. What was the plan?
To kill all of you and then to leave.
And now, with all our guns out?
I'll manage.
You're the fastest 65-year-old white guy on the planet.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a retiring CIA operative in the Netflix action series FUBAR.
Now, since I'm retired, I'm going to win my wife back. What's going to stop us?
15-year-old divorce papers?
She doesn't love you anymore?
Or finding out their daughter is also an operative. The series marks Schwarzenegger's television series debut.
It's a much bigger challenge. No two ways about that. But it was fun because it was a story based on one of my favorite movies that I've done, True Lies. And so the idea of combining so much action with also so much comic relief was really fantastic. You should enter marriage before you...
Do you think I'm a virgin?
Well, let me think what I want to think.
Oh my God, I'm 28.
We had a really fun time. We give each other a hard time a lot, which helped the, I think, father-daughter dynamic. We'd met a couple years prior, and by the time we were finally getting to shoot this, we just knew each other pretty well and could like tease each other and play and have fun, and keeping pretty much everything to the script, but still just like having a really good time with it.
That was her by lean bomb. What?
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
That was intense.
It was. You know what's not been intense today? Traffic at all. We haven't had any accidents. That lucky streak continues into this hour. It's now 9:55. No major accidents to report. We have a disabled vehicle.
What bird just went right at the camera right
Okay,
there.
I'm not responsible for birds. Was it like the movie?
Almost,
okay,
yes. It was
gotcha.
It looked like a crow or something.
Okay,
no,
gotcha.
It was a scene out of a movie.
We only have I can't top that. We only have a disabled vehicle at Wetmore. I'm sorry, 410 on Broadway, and then I-35 at Flores. Take it away, Mike. No.
Thank you very much.
Bird-free forecast.
Huge talent. No, I'm kidding. No, but it was. I wish you would have seen it. I hope we have that recorded. All right, got a lot of clouds around here, and some sunshine is trying to squeeze on through. And you know something? I've got the wrong show just popped up right there. But what I can show you is we've got 79 degrees at noon today, 84 for a high temperature. A couple of showers there, one or two of them out there, but we will see a few of those showers and thunderstorms popping up later on today. If you have outdoor plans, don't change them. Just kind of be on the lookout for that. And the nice thing is temperatures are being held in check. We will barely make it up to roughly normal by mid to latter part of the week.
And today, very widely scattered showers and storms?
Yeah, I'm going for 40% chance. Computer models are not that aggressive with things popping up, but there will be some of them out there, so just be on the lookout for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.